Yo, 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 what up with it? What's going on? What's going on? What all my people out there? What's up? What up? What up? What's going on? Man, so I'm gonna jump right up into it today, man. Just sitting here, just waiting to get some things going on, man, rolling. So today, as I can see, I'm gonna get up into the Shakur Stevenson talk. Excuse me. Sometimes when I get out work late, it be work. I be working so hard through the day, man. My voice go and I'm coming in here and I'll be relaxed sometimes, half tired and now all that, but I still have another job to do. I love doing this and I'm never gonna stop. I'm just not gonna stop doing it. By the way, go check out Coach Hayes. I made a fool of myself over there, but y'all go ahead and go check that out, Coach Hayes, on Facebook or YouTube, whatever one you want to go check it out. It's pretty funny. He made it a very funny clip. He calls it the Coach's Kitchen. It's in good fun and everything. He's a coach. He actually was a coach, man, and highly respected down there in Florida. Knows a lot of NFL guys. He don't throw that out there for clout or anything like that, but he knows football. And you know, for me to step up to the plate and another one to step up to the plate. Shout out to Chef Jerome, shout out to Raw Hash, shout out to Coach Hayes, David Talks Bubs, shout out to none other than my brother Shad out there, man. South Coast King DP. Cubic King, oh man, the gang is out here, man. We all be out here working so hard, man. Shout out to everybody up out there, man, for real. Everybody out there grinding. But go get your books, man. I got mine for sure. I know I made a post on X already, but I definitely went and got my books. Porter City, as you can see, the rebirth. My man Shad wrote these books, and y'all should hit him up on X. You know what I'm saying? DM him, and he'll link you up to get his books, man. Support him, man. I thought it was just so dope. I'm never gonna stop talking about it. Like I'm really proud of him for doing that, man. For real, I think it's super dope. Can't wait to read them. So let me get into the Shakur Stevenson drama a little bit. I'm gonna talk about that, but before I get up into that, I just wanted to let some things, come up on here and be real for a second, and let's talk a little bit of football because we are in football season, aren't we? We are in football season, none other, right? You know what I mean? It is the season. It's coming up so smooth. And you see that sign that say think big. And this is just the Georgia offensive line. So let me make that a little bit bigger for y'all here on YouTube so that y'all be able to see it. Cause it's super dope, man. They got the weight of every offensive lineman that's out there in football, period. So I made it real big. I made myself small. You can still hear me nonetheless. I mean, you don't really need to see me. So that is offensive tackle Nair Daniels, 6'7", 371 pounds. Big dude. That's one of they tackles. You feel me? Um, big boy, man. Interior offensive lineman, Daniel Calhoun, 6'6", 365 pounds. Offensive tackle, Marquise Easley, 6'5", 345. This is the standard of what you want your offensive line to look like in college football. This is a pro offensive line, damn near. Offensive tackle Marcus Harrison, 6'7", 335 pounds. Don't look like it at all. These are big, athletic 300 pounders. Interior offensive lineman Malachi Tolliver, 6'5", 315 pounds. Big guy, man. Offensive tackle, Michael Uni, 6'7", 335 pounds. Don't even look like it, man. Don't even look like it, bro. Offensive tackle, Jackson, 6'10", 350 pounds. Bro, man, these is big guys, man. Big guys, man. Athletic guys. This is the standard of what you want your offensive line to look like, man, in Georgia. I mean, for college football, period. But see, they also say that smaller guys can't get the job done, and I don't believe that. I truly, I don't know what this new age thing is with football, right? And I'll get into talking about offensive linemen after I get it done with my opinion on just heart and football, period. See, to me, your heart is what matters on the football field. And I'm coming from a player's perspective because that's the way that I know how to relate to football is through a player's perspective. Now, I am learning more and more of the coach's point of view and the coach's perspective of the sport. And I have no shame in saying that I'm practicing that and that I'm learning more on that every day and that I'm studying this game like none other because to hang with the best, you got to be the best. And to be the best, you got to practice your craft and you got to study. You got to know what you're doing out here. So I'm definitely on it. If one thing, see, and I know I talked about the Coach Hayes situation, but if you learn one thing from something, what you gotta learn, are you learning or are you losing? See, you you don't lose in anything because you always could take that from a learning experience. You take them experiences, you learn from it, and you grow from it. And I think I'm a rare commodity out here. There's no other person that's like Truck and Chubby out here. You know what I'm saying? That could take L's, get back up in the public eye and then keep going and that's willing to ask other people for information that I may not know in order to grow better in my craft. See, people don't do that because they're so afraid of what they may look like to somebody else or to reach out and ask, look, I have no problem with you breaking down film with me and showing me the ones and twos because I'm not the only person that probably needs to do that. There probably be a thousand other people watching, and probably some of your favorite people out here talking sports that'll be watching, but they not going to admit that. But ain't nothing wrong with learning, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Shout out to Rue, man, Alpha Rue, man, breaking down the film and all that. But I definitely picked up some things, and I know some things, you know. So I know some things, but everybody has this different verbiage, and to learn all the different verbiage and the different lingo is one thing that you should know because it just opens up your arsenal. But anyway, heart matters though in football. It just matters. And that is the biggest thing to me. And a lot of people lack that. I can remember a time where my son was playing football. He was one of the biggest boys on the team, and he's always been like in the 90 percentile for his age. I don't ask me. I'm 5'6". I don't have no idea how I've had a kid. Well, my wife's taller, but he's just big and he's always been a brute. I call him my bull, and that's what he is. He's a bull, a straight bull. He's always been that way since he was young. Running through stuff, tearing things up, always able to play with the older kids and blend right in like it was nothing. And dominating his age group, strength wise. And I've always told him, you're smart, you're big, use that. But nonetheless, me being smaller, I've always been shorter than everybody in my grade my whole life. Always. On the teams, always. So I had to play with heart. I know how that feels. You have to play. I had to play with heart. I had to be smarter than other people. I had to pay attention to their signs, their giveness, and attack their weaknesses. And that's what a smart football player does. See, you don't go out there and say a guy's bigger than you, and just because they have size, that means that they're going to push you around. See, that shouldn't happen. And that happens too often. But see, I can remember his coach telling him, and I was so mad. And I was so upset that he had came home from football practice. Even though I sat back in the car and waited there because he was only what 9, 10 years old. But I would let his coach yell at him, scream at it because I believe in that stuff. That's what builds character. But anyhow, he gets home and they're about to go face a team that is literally called the Hillbillies. That's their name. This is not a pun. This is not a joke. The team is called the Hillbillies. Um, and they're big boys. They was big boys. All of them were. I mean, they had a kid that was like, I don't know, he was 180 pounds, and we talking 9, 10 years old. offensive line. They had two of these guys on him. And I can remember him saying, they're going to double team me with two big guys. And my coach told me they're big. And already the sound of defeat coming out of my child's mouth and him sitting there looking at me and me knowing that I had to play with heart. And I'm like, this ain't going to work. See, you have it all. You got to go out there, no matter who get in front of you, fight, fight, fight. Punch them in the mouth first, meaning, and I, it's not because this, it's a figure of speech is what I'm using. You go out there, initiate the contact, keep hitting them, keep hitting them, keep hitting them, keep bringing it every time. Eventually, they gonna have the respect for you, and you're just gonna go past it. And then what happened in the game was he just was tearing it up. He was tearing it up so much that everybody was going crazy on the sideline because he was so aggressive, and they never had seen him play like this. But they asked me, they told, can you get him to dial it down? I said, what? And this is a true story. This is not something that's made up. And it made, and that right there was enough for me to say, okay, um, with all due respect, I need to I don't want to remove my child because I don't believe in quitting. If you start something, you finish it no matter what it is. No matter how hard it's going for you, if you start it, finish it. And if you don't like it when it's done and over with, I'll never have to do it again. But if you start it, finish it. You know, they've tried almost every sport there is to try that I could afford for them to try. And if you don't like it, okay, cool. Finish it out and then we'll move on. Okay. But quitting is just not, it's not allowed and accepted in my household, period. But I just could not believe that a coach would ask, first of all, you defeated your whole team by telling them that this team was bigger than them, that this team may beat them. They didn't beat them. They wound up beating the team because they had speed and there was other kids who were on the defensive line, offensive line, as such as my son, that was just they were doing exactly what I was asking them to do. And you use little bribes with kids. I used to bring pancakes, McDonald's pancakes to the games and pieces of French toast, make it. And for every sack or pancake they got, I would give them one. I would give it to their parent. That I mean, and it was fun. And that's how I got them to play hard. They wanted who don't like pancakes. That's true, man. But the moral of that is just play with heart. It doesn't mean because Georgia has this NFL offensive line that you're a 6'5" or 6'2", 250-pound defensive end that you can't win that battle. That does not mean that. It's football's heart, A lot of it is the heart, man. Especially when you get up there to at this level or where y'all playing in P4 football. Heart, man, it matters so much. Awareness, studying your playbooks, because you could be big, but grandma always told me, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's a fact. Speaking on that, real quick, y'all know I can't. Y'all know I got to talk about Colorado. Y'all just know I got to, right? Um, and the first game Colorado plays in their first game, mind you, you correct me out there if I'm wrong. I have no wrong with correction. Just but from when I looked at the roster, I picked up on 11 of linemen, offensive linemen, right? 11. Jordan Seaton, Kareem Horton, Tyler Johnson, Ben Resnick, Khalil Benson, Justin Mayers, Hank Zelinskis, Tyler Brown, Yakari Walker, Philip Houston, Cash Cleveland. Okay. Um, and I think I got everybody. Am I right? Okay. So their weights all add up. We add up 3,260 pounds. Why would you go ahead and why would you wait and put all their weights together? I'm gonna tell you in a minute, right? I'm gonna tell you in a second. Um, you get to look in their very first game, North Dakota State. North Dakota State, and I just went ahead and I put their most likely starters and I added up their most likely starters. So I'm gonna tell you who. Okay, so Hayden Johnston, 6'2", 282. Isaac Zateka, I cannot pronounce his name, 6'4", 291. Trent Fraley, 6'1", 298, sophomore. Chadwick, 6'6", 283, sophomore. Devin Lockerbie, 6'5", 304, sophomore. Mason Miller, 6'7", 299, senior. Gray Zabel, 6'6", 304, senior. Josh Megan, 6'5", 280, sophomore. Hunter Pontius, 6'8", 317 pounds, I believe. I might. He's a senior, by the way. Jack Rock, offensive tackle, 6'7", 315 pounds. Okay. And he, I didn't put down if he was a singer or not, but y'all could like I said, I'm not claiming to know everything. Sometimes you taking notes. So out of all those guys right there, just real quick, out of those names, that's 2,970 pounds. Okay. If you want me to give Colorado's height and weight size, I also do that because they match up very well. Now the thing is with the North Dakota State game, and I'm expecting them to beat North Dakota State. I really am. But what I want to get y'all at is these trenches, right? And this is what I'm bringing up. That's why I brought up the Georgia pitcher first, and I gave their heights and their weights, and that's the standard. This is where everybody wants their offensive lineman to be. Now, according to the standard, they're under, but that's expected. Division I AA school such as North Dakota State, right? And they don't have all the NIL money and everything else. Colorado has, if you according to the standard, um, Jordan Seaton is the freshman, true freshman, 6'5", 285, offensive tackle, and they thinking about starting him there. I think they should move him inside the guard his first year till he puts on some weight, and then bump him outside. But the average edge rusher is probably about a good one, 275, around his same weight. So he should be able to handle it there, and just getting him there and getting him in that experience there is probably the best thing, right? You know what I mean? There's nothing really wrong with that because he's gonna have his bumps and bruises. He's a true freshman, but Jordan Seaton will, without a doubt, be one of the premier offensive linemen in college football. We know this, right? Kareem Horton, 6'5", 315 pounds. In I don't even know if he may even be a starter, but he has the size and the weight that everybody wants to look for in air quotes. Okay. Tyler Johnson, 6'5", 325 pounds, coming over from Houston. Had an injury. I think he's okay. Um, everybody could use improvement. I wouldn't go over the top and just say he is, but I am missing some names from Colorado. By the way, I know I am. A few of them, the Michigan guy, um, and the young man from Texas, name I'm going blank right now, but like I said, I am missing a couple of those guys. So their weight is way over this right now. And I would say that they're probably and and I'm not including then the freshman recruits. I'm just including this is the strictly off of the spring roster for both teams. So other people has been added on this offensive line. I do want to say that and put that out there that I do realize that. Okay. Okay, so Khalil Benson, he's 6'6", 305 pounds. People have been so hyped over him, and I'm not understanding why. Maybe I said something that maybe took people the wrong way or something like that as far as on Khalil Benson when I was on the Coach A show. But what I was saying is that it looks good on paper. One sack, yes, it looks good on paper, but other than that, like the man has troubles. He has troubles, you know. I didn't even, to be honest, and that's why I shot out Al Farouk before the show. Like I didn't even notice that his footwork, feet work was that bad. I wasn't even looking at that because it was just like unorthodox to me. It looked sloppy to me. The way when he did get out and try to block, and it seemed he needed help a lot of the times. A lot of the times, the guy they brought in with him was I can't remember, they brought over two guys from Indiana. Matthews, he the other guy wound up going up to Oregon, Khalil Benson, but he picked up Khalil slack tremendously on that Indiana team, tremendously. That's all I have to say about that. But Justin Mayer, 6'4", 320, fair guy, pretty good. He fits a little bit under the standard, but that's understandable. But he's in the senior year. He looks good over there. He's solid. He's solid. I won't say good. He's solid. Okay. Um, Hank Zelinskis, 6'3", 285, might be the starting center. Maybe the starting center. Undersized. I'm not saying that he don't have a heart, but undersized. Tyler Brown, 6'3", 310. Strongest offensive lineman on the team, probably the offensive and defensive lineman on Colorado, Buffalo's team. Um, may not start. May not start. Yakari Walker from UConn, 6'2", 270. Philip Houston, um, they're from Florida, 6'5". I'm sorry, not Florida. Florida Atlantic or Florida International, FIU, I believe it is, 6'5", 250 pounds. Cash Cleveland, 6'3", 300 pounds. Cash Cleveland will be another upcoming center when he gets his experience. Watch out for Cash Cleveland and Jordan Seaton. They both played at IMG together. They have the chemistry. Um, Cash know how to lead the offensive line, and so does Jordan Seaton. They're going to work well together. If when Coach Sanders, Coach Prime, keeps both of those guys, this offensive line will become way better. They will get bigger, stronger. Um, they're early. They're freshmen, true freshmen, and I'm almost, I don't know, Cash Cleveland. I don't know how you could leave a talented young man like that out of this lineup. It's important to have that on in the trenches. It's very important. But where I was getting at is these guys way up and they match. And I still left out Austin Schultz, 6'4", 288, redshirt freshman. Griffey Impey, 6'3", 291 pounds. Redshirt freshman. Jack Lewinsky, 6'3", 291, redshirt freshman. Nate Skanekliff, 6'5", 291, redshirt freshman. Bo Johnson, 6'6", 282, redshirt freshman. Um, so what the names I just did, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I left out 5. So we'll say Colorado got about another 3. And I left out 5 on their team. They match up pretty good in the trenches. And what I'm saying is in the trenches, and I know it took me a while to get to that because I went into talking about these guys. I have done zero film on North Dakota State offensive line, so I don't know exactly where their talents lie at. Okay, I am strictly just saying as far as size, they look like they match up pretty decent with Colorado's offensive line. Okay, not with skill. Let me make that clear. Once again, I'm not saying that they match up skill wise with Colorado's offensive line. I'm saying that in size, they match up. And in experience, togetherness on that team, continuity is where they have more experience than Colorado at North Dakota State's offensive line. Okay. Like I said, there's a couple seniors, a couple sophomores on that team. They have depth. They have depth on the offensive line. These guys been together for at least a couple seasons, and that matters. That matters. Them getting smacked around by South Dakota State last year. They all went through that together. That matters. Um, and to go into support of my argument, I always talk about and I always bring up Northwestern in this because when you go from 1-11 to 7-5 with damn near the same team, that's why that happened because nobody wants to be 1-11 again. Nobody wants to let themselves down like that, let alone their coach down like that, let alone their brothers, their players, they don't want to let their war brothers down like that. You just don't, and you perform better. And that's just what it is. But as far as me talking about the size and the weight, because you think about when you get a, for instance, Tyler Johnson 6'5", 325, and a Justin Mayer 6'4", 320. Um, they're running a power right. Tyler Johnson's right guard and Justin Mares is pulling 6'4", 320. That's a 700-pound, damn near a 700-pound wall coming on a linebacker or a defensive end or a cornerback. You understand what I'm saying? That's a lot of to move, let alone when you need in defense, you need a three technique that a guy that can control the B gap. You need that without a doubt. You need a three tech, somebody that can sit in there and control that middle. Their job is solely to cause havoc, to cause a pile up, to clog up that middle to where there's nothing that's their sole thing. Their purpose is not to make it. Sometimes you get these guys who are one offs and they Aaron Donald and they're looking good in the middle at the three tech. But if I can't get a three tech that can break that wall and get back there and cause havoc in the backfield, at least be able to move these guys and to fight through, like move it, cause disruption, make the back change direction, make the quarterback back up a step for the defensive end can knock the pass down, shift the pocket, cause havoc. That is their sole purpose. And when I say that's their sole purpose, I must say that that's also my perspective on a three technique now and what I think they should do. Okay, because technically speaking, if we're speaking technical and you're speaking football terms, different formations causes for in different plays and different formations causes for the three technique to either attack the B gap most of the time, or may sometimes it may be maybe the A gap. I might want you to control solely clog up between the guard and center. You know what I mean? So in different formations, I should say, okay, because it opens up things. If you have a dominant three tech, for example, you have a dominant three technique and you want him crashing hard in between the center and guard, and you have your defensive end or your other defensive tackles. Say you're running a 4-3, but you have a three tech out there, and you want your other defensive tackle to come around and run a stunt, um, come right behind him, and he's opening up that gap because he's so dominant that he goes right through, unblocked, unscathed. It confuses the offensive line. Play stops in the backfield. TFL, sack, hurry, something. So that's to me cause havoc. Cause havoc in there. And when you got these guys who weigh so much and this wall becomes it's heavy, it's a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight coming down on a three tech. Who can handle that? Who has experience with handling that? Um, I don't know, no God. I know that. And this is why I say Colorado should beat them, because when you get to looking at their defensive line, they're just about weight size. And now I don't know if how they're going to call the defense. They're going to have to call a perfect game, in my opinion. North Dakota State is. It's just my opinion, but the reason why I believe this is because their defensive linemen or a lot lighter than what Colorado's defensive linemen are. And when Colorado's offensive line jumps and becomes aggressive on them, they're going to be able to run the ball and control the clock. And I believe that's what Colorado needs to do in this game is to pound the rock. You don't need to play Shador as much. Shador should get 20 to 25 passes in this game. You should be able to beat North Dakota State running the ball, playing good defense, Shador making some good passes and opening up the field for him because you don't want to show everything against him. If Shador has to drop back, in my opinion, Truck and Chubby's opinion, okay, if Shador needs to drop back and throw 30 times against North Dakota State, something is wrong and it's not going to be good because you got to know they're going to go play Nebraska right after that. So that's not good. That will not be good in my opinion. You do not want to open up the arsenal. You want to, I don't care if you got to run Micah, Hayden, uh, Offerdahl. If you got to keep rotating those backs and having those backs fresh, go with it because that's the one advantage that you have right now as far as on paper. I don't know what these guys are going to do, but that's why I said they're going to have to call a perfect game on defense because they're going to have to scheme properly because they know they have some maulers on that offensive line. Some Jordan Seaton, he's a mauler. He's young. He's gonna make mistakes, but he's a mauler. Um, I seen Cash Cleveland being a mauler. I like the way he was relentless. I don't know if that's going to translate over to college. We don't know that yet, but I'm I'm assuming that it will. Coming from a IMG Academy, development is high over there. They develop their guys good, and I'm just assuming that based off of his past and where he's coming from. Okay, um, when you're looking at a guy like Justin Mears, we know he's okay there. That they should be able to jump on these guys, run the ball, like I said, and control the clock. In that opinion, if Shador is going to drop back 30 times, I don't think that that's a good recipe for them. I think that you're playing right into their hands if you're going to drop back and throw it that much. Um, we may be in for a whole different season. Some people are assuming that with Pat Schumer being the offensive coordinator up there in Colorado that they're going to run the ball a lot. But at the same time, I'm just going to be offense. I'm going to be offense. Listen to me. I'm going to be honest. You can't win the Heisman if you're not throwing for more than 3,500 yards in the season. Um, Quarterbacks all over college football are going to throw for 3,000 in their sleep. You're going to have to throw for more than 3,500 yards. That's just what it is. He has the receivers to do it without a doubt. Without a doubt. But I don't think that's just how you want to play this game. I don't think that's how you want to play this game. And you don't want to show too much from them. You want to stick to it. This game is just like I was saying on the fans' point of view. This game for Colorado is you keep doing that same move and that same video game that you're beating everybody in the room with, and you stay with it and run with it. That's what this game is. I would not show too much and try to practice too much on them because that you could go with what's going and work it. Period. Till they stop it. Then go to something different. This call me say what you want to say, but that's just what I believe because Nebraska is going to test them in every aspect of the game. Every aspect of the game, Nebraska is going to test Colorado. And then right after that, CSU, Colorado State University, they have to go up there and they have to play them. I want them to beat them because just you don't disrespect nobody's mom. Period. I don't care who it is. I don't care how I feel about it. No, but they will play you hard. They probably have been scouting your practices. They probably have an insider down there at Colorado University, so they're going to know you well, and they're going to be expecting more. So by that time, there'll be tape out We probably I don't know. Well, maybe we'll be in for another close game, but I don't think that they should play it close. I just don't. But you can't sleep on Colorado State University, because you just can't. You can't. It's a respected rivalry game, and they do get some pro talent up there also. And he seems to develop his players well up there at CSU, despite of the things he may have said. It seems like they get good development up there. Um, with that being said, and they picked up a lot of Colorado local talent out there and giving them a chance. And there's some good players up there in Colorado, from what I heard. Um, now easy to say who you hear it from. Well, uh, I do follow Matt McChesney, 6-0 Academy. He has offensive linemen and he trains offensive linemen at the 6-0 Academy. He constantly talks about, these players that are local, these upcoming freshmen and players that are out in the area and where they play at, and the guys he trains seem to do well on every other team. So why would I not take his word? It seems that every player that he places, everywhere they go, they seem to perform well. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. Just saying. He seems pretty good. Drake, for example, the most popular one off the top of my head, Drake Nugent, that played at Michigan, trained at 6-0 Academy. He was up for the Remington Award last year, second place finalist. Damn, no good, no damn better than that in college football. You training award-winning offensive lineman. I would want mine to train there. That's all I'm saying. But what with that being said, it's going to, and then right after that, they go to see Baylor. See, a lot of people just had them beating Baylor, and I've already talked about Baylor. I wish Coach would have clipped that Baylor, the clip out where I was talking about Baylor, where we got into a little bit more of the conversation where it was, but whatever. But however, nonetheless, I'll talk about it till I'm blue in the face for everybody out there, and why y'all should not just go over and talk about just beating Baylor. It's like it's a given, like it should just happen. Um, Simply because they have an experienced quarterback. So when you got an experienced quarterback and you're saying, well, but he's new down there with Dave Aranda. He is new down there with Dave Aranda. However, he's a fifth year senior. He comes from the MAC, and we have to keep that in mind. We have to keep that in mind. Like the Mac to a different, it may be different, but I don't want to say it's too much difference, because he was practicing and throwing against the best cornerback in college football that we didn't even know of, Quinyon Mitchell, up at Toledo. This is where Daquan Finn played at. See, when you throwing against the best cornerback, he was the first cornerback taken off. So you could say what you want, like people, because you can easily say that was his skill set was what team needs. Obviously, more than one professional football team thought that his skill set was the best in college. We may have thought somebody else was best in college, because let's be honest, not a lot of people was watching the MAC football. So you didn't see Quinyon Mitchell at Toledo until he got drafted. Then you went and looked at him and said, oh yeah, he's nice. He's the truth. Well, let's say Daquan Finn threw against him at practice. He can thread the needle. He does not. And the thing I like about, he don't hesitate. If it's not there, he's gone. And I'm sure David Aranda's like, use your best attribute. I think a lot of people sleeping on that Baylor game, man. He rushed for the past 3 seasons over 500 yards rushing. He knows how to thread the ball. He definitely can run. He's athletic. Fifth year senior, fifth year guy in the Big 12 and a good program. Just I wish a lot of these guys would sometimes stay put, especially like a program like Baylor. But not only that, he has there's a 6 year middle linebacker there leading the team, and Matt Jones. Some people say, oh, well, all these old guys that should be in the NFL. Well, you could easily say some of the guys at other places could be in the NFL. It's all over college football. It's just not them. But my thing is these guys, the majority of the guys who are fifth year, sixth year seniors going into Baylor or have been in that system, have been there since 2002. Okay. And on top of that, you have the guys that, and when they do have the 7 year experience and they're coming from other schools, they've been in college football, they've been around, they've played, they know. All I'm saying is take that game and be prepared for a dog fight. That game is not just going to be a automatic dub. I'm telling people, I'm trying to just tell people that and warn them right now before the season starts because they're coming. Dave Aranda has to get results this season. He has to get results this season. We've seen him have teams that did decent. We've seen him have teams that did well. We've seen him take losses. They had a bad season last year in the Big 12. I'm expecting them to be a mid-tier team in the Big 12. Yes, I said it. Now, can we say they all going to be mid-tier? No, but I do it. They have the pieces. The only thing that affects them, just like everybody else in the Big 12 besides UCF, is depth. Where's your depth? Where is your depth? Where's the depth? If K State got smart, they said, okay, we got one leading rusher. We have Avery Johnson. If he goes down, who do they got? They can plug Dylan Edwards back there behind that line. He'll get busy. He will get busy. Let's not know. Yes, he will. He will do it. It's not ideal. It's not something you want, but it's not a bad backup if you ask me. Um, when you look around at even Oklahoma State backups, who like I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do have the depth there, because I have not seen film on their backups. But as far as names, it's not there. It's not there around. Depth is a problem, and at the skill position, I believe, and that's I think that's what's going to separate some of these teams in a later stretch. Who can stay healthy? Jalen Daniels, the quarterback at Kansas, just hasn't been able to stay healthy. So he has a Cam Rising. I know a lot of people are huge on him up at Utah right now, but he's just had a leg injury out for a whole season. Now, in the season prior to that, yes, he was in a Pac-12 that was loaded. Caleb Williams, Heisman Trophy winner, Cam Ward, these guys, Darian Thompson Robinson, these guys were balling. Yeah, Cam Ward was, and these guys were there. Cam Rising was he was up there with these guys. Over 3,000 yards passing, getting busy on the ground. I'm not saying that he will not be bad. I think it has made him smarter, more humble, and I think he'll, like I said, smarter is everything because he'll be aware of when to go down, when to run out of bounds. Like, okay, I don't need that extra yard. I got close enough. Coach maybe could call a power up the middle, or we'll just have to punt it. Live another down the play. I think that's the kind of Cam Rising that people are going to see this year, and there's nothing wrong with that. I hope that's the Cam Rising we should see this year. Is a guy who understands this and knows that I can live to play another down. Because when it comes down to depth at the most important position on the field, quarterback and running back, not a lot of teams in the Big 12 have that. And I think that's what may come down to be honest. Moving on though. Um, enough with the Big 12 and enough with the football. I constantly talk about the Big 12 now because of Colorado's in there and because I think it's just going to be really important for them to get together and win. Now that Shakur Stevenson thing, I don't really want to talk about the Shador thing. Shador just was honest. He was asked questions about uh the Dylan Edwards going over to Kansas. And he just kept it real. Like, look, like my guy left. and I'm not mad at him. He did what was best for him. I can't be mad at a guy doing what's best for him and whatever was best for his career, his life. I can't live his life. And I think that was honesty. Shout out to Off Script. He put up the post and I checked it out and I thought it was dope. And I definitely bookmarked it. He definitely talked about, he knows that they're everybody's Super Bowl. I hope that he knows that. I hope that he really knows that. I hope that they come out and they play like that. I know he knows that. I know Jimmy Horn Jr. knows that. I know Travis Hunter knows that. Um, but who else knows that? It's time for everybody in Colorado to make a name for themselves. And the thing is they gotta get out there and they gotta play hard. Um, and they gotta play. They have to play and they have to separate the individuality. You gotta come together and play in this Big 12. It's gonna be because that's what this is. This is all about team. If there's one if there's one conference that you can say that's all about team this year, and building up, it's a lot of these programs. But this is definitely here. They seem to retain a lot of their guys, a lot of them. Um, Shakur Stevenson. I got this clip pulled up of a boxer, and I want to show y'all something, right? And so let me on YouTube, right? I got this clip pulled up. So let me get it pulled up here on YouTube so everybody can see it. That's here on YouTube with me. I'm gonna play this clip and then I'll talk about things. So this clip right here is a clip of a boxer that just had been hit so hard, and I believe this is Africa. I'll get it. He don't know where he at. He's lost. He's swinging at the air. He's swinging in a corner at the post, nowhere near his opponent. The ref broke the fight up. He continued. He think he's walking towards his opponent. He can't see right now. The damage that, and I'm showing that clip simply because of the damage that a person can take during a fight is no joke, man. And we as fans and as casual boxing fans, as fans in general of the game of whatever, we take this for granted. And this is by it says in 2022 a tragic incident occurred during a boxing match involving Sissimo from South Africa. During the fight, Sissimo became disoriented and was seen throwing punches at thin air. The fight was stopped, and Sissimo was immediately taken to the hospital and put into a medically induced coma. Unfortunately, despite the medical intervention, Sissimo passed away. The cause of death was later determined to be an intracranial hemorrhage. That's what that was. And I pulled that clip up because to say and to talk about this is because we talk about how boring a fight is. And I've talked about this before, and I know I have, and I know I touched on it before, but I'm gonna touch on this again because it never gets old because people never seem to stop saying a fight is boring and it's not exciting. And I know, and I'm guilty of it. I've said it too. But two things can be true. You can learn from what you say and learn as things go as you go on. Shakur Stevenson, we say as a boring fighter. He pulled up clips today about talking with Floyd Mayweather. Don't get caught up into the hype. I believe Shakur Stevenson even said this about Devin Haney when he fought Ryan Garcia. Don't get caught up in the hype. He got caught up in the hype of the crowd. And that's the one thing that Shakur Stevenson is good at. Is not getting caught up into the hype. Tank Davis is blessed with a anvil of a fist. I know we're not talking about Tank. He's able to take punches. But sometimes taking those punches can hurt you. The right person get in that ring and they touch him up because he got to take those punches sometimes when he's counting, because he's counting the punches, looking at your combinations, seeing what you're throwing. And when that opening comes, once he gets that rhythm down on you, night night. And I think a lot of people know this about him. But he's able to take a punch. He has he got a stone. I don't even know if it's stone, a gold chin, a diamond chin. He takes hits. And I'm just a casual and I can see that. But Shakur Stevenson, being a born fighter, man, he never gets caught up into the hype. And I don't think he should get caught up into the hype now with everybody saying that is literally what boxing is. It is blocking. It is defense. That is literally the first thing you learn in boxing is defense. If your boxing coach is teaching you offense when you first go into the gym, you got the wrong coach. I must say that. Because when I was taught to slug because of my short stature and my short reach, it was purely defense. Defense, defense, defense. But when you up in there on somebody and you slugging, you gotta be able to take a hit. You know you're gonna get punched. When you up in there slugging, you know you're gonna take a punch. So your defense, 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 defense. But the defense is what it is. Stop a block, stop a punch, give a punch, counter. Now, is he now him countering? It just wasn't the opportune time. You can't come out in the first 2 rounds and start counter punching your opponent because they're waiting for you to counter. They may even be setting up that counter. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's coming out. That first round probably is pure drilling and pumping. Second round, the drilling probably starting to fade away towards the end of the round. By the third round, that drilling came down. You done set in, you in the fight, but you still hyped up, still got your energy. By those rounds, the mid rounds, sixth, seventh, and eighth round in boxing, that's where you're conditioning. And that, and to me, now I'm speaking. Y'all could correct me. I have no problem with people dropping knowledge on me at all. But that is when that conditioning and everything starts to take over. This is when you know your opponent, you know what they're doing, you know their power, you know everything that's going on. And this is where some boxers start to let loose at because you already know smart boxers will change up their whole plan. They will change up a whole plan. Um, I just don't understand why people don't have. I guess you can't with those styles, but you don't want to get hit. You just don't want to get hit. Period. You don't want to get hit. And them putting their life on the line for our entertainment is to them it's war's battle, but that's just what it is. And in simple terms, we get entertained off of their life being in online. That's just what it is. Same thing in sports. I think that's why they're protecting the players a little bit more. We like the hits, we like to see that stuff, but gotta realize that people are getting bigger, stronger, faster. In boxing, you literally are taking hits, blows to the head by somebody who's trained to hit with a force, a very strong force, trained to throw punches on a professional level. These are not amateur boxers. This is not some guy who's been out of boxing and just punching you. These are professional punchers, guys that hands are registered as weapons. Like they gotta have their hands registered in all of the states. They gotta bring their papers when they cross over. Like their hands are literally lethal weapons. Think about that. So you don't want to get hit by anybody. I don't care who it is. And I think that Shakur Stevenson is doing exactly what Shakur Stevenson needs to do. Talk your talk, keep talking like you're going to do everything, and keep fighting the way you fight, because the minute you, Shakur Stevenson, stop boxing the way you box and stop defending yourself, it's going to happen. Do not get caught up in the hype. Boxing and football is different, right? But I'm trying to use this situation to say Cam Newton, one of the best quarterbacks we've seen at every collegiate level, even in pro football. All year round, we see Cam putting it, balling up his fist, starting his hands in the middle, bringing it out towards like a wingspan, like Superman, like all season long in the end zone, Superman style, right? Touchdown, Cam Newton running, touchdown, touchdown. Fourth quarter, before the butt push was there, it was Cam Newton lining up 4th and 1, going through the 5 hole, hitting up the B gap with a 3 tech, running over 3 techs and all of that, bouncing it outside, probably going to the house, running up the gut for long yards. Gets into the Super Bowl playing against Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. I am so sorry for saying this for if you're a Denver Bronco fan, but Cam Newton did not scramble one time, and people keep saying they had him bottle up. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna say no. Von Miller's a hell of a talent, but no, no, no. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. People talk about him not diving on the ball. I want to talk about how many times he rushed in that game, period. Why didn't he turn up on him? The Carolina Panthers had arguably one of the best linebackers who has ever graced the game. If he did not retire early, Luke Kuechly would have been he would have been on Ray Lewis status right now. Luke Kuechly was him. And I don't think they win that game if Cam did what Cam did the whole entire season to get him there, to get him to that Super Bowl game. Lamar Jackson, for example. That's another example. Last year's playoffs. Why start trying to be a pocket passer? Why not get in your rhythm? It's like your rhythm, his jab. That's why his grandpa was telling Shakur Stevenson to throw the jab, throw your jab, because it gets them in the rhythm. It's a rhythm they got. Okay, getting your swag right. A couple of runs from Lamar. Oh, when he get busy on the line, okay, I know this linebacker. He weak off that left foot. He weak off that right foot. If you hit him with the boom, boom, as soon as my receiver hitting with that, okay, boom, got you. You know, like it's just a feel for it. You get a feel for the whole field. He done sized up everybody. Then he done, in to put it in simpler terms, he knows the field now. Like I said, sized up everybody on the defense when he rushed a couple times, got the feel for the game, got his blood boiling a certain type of way, loosened up. It's like taking that first hit in the game. Now he's able to just hit everybody in stride that he needs to. You gotta play your game. Don't let nobody take you off the game plan. Shakur Stevenson, don't let nobody take you off your game plan. Because the minute that you go ahead and you try to fight what everybody else wants to see, there it go. There it go. And it's not fair, but black fighters get judged differently out here. I don't know why, but they just do. So stay and keep doing your thing the way you're doing your thing, man. Do not let nobody get in your head, Shakur Stevenson. Do you. You seen it happen to Devin Haney. You even said it to him. So you already know what time it is. Not telling you nothing you don't know. Do your thing. They're going to come hard. They're going to always have something to say no matter what's going on. The people that you need to please is the people that you talk to on a daily basis. Not none of us out here. That is a fact. Moving on. Coach Prime come out and says, I'm judged on a different scale. My wins are totally different than your wins. That's all he said. Just a little saying. My wins is different than your wins. That's all. In other news, Stars don't matter. But now Julian Lewis has dropped to a 4 star, not only on three, but if I'm not mistaken, this picture right here looks like 24/7 sport. Let me get this pulled up for y'all out there, man. This looks like 24/7 too. Y'all help me out there on YouTube or whatever. But if I'm not mistaken, that's definitely 24/7. Yeah, I'm looking at, yeah, he's definitely dropped on 24/7. A couple of them went down to a 4 star. And see, you know why I think he went down to a 4 star is because it's something else. It's his mannerism. If you think, see, if and I'm gonna speak on this, but I don't know if this may be the last thing I talk about before I get on up out of here. But see, when you look at the mannerism of the players, right? You have to think you're on when you go to these schools, you're all this is an interview. You're auditioning for whatever school that may want you, or other schools. This is an interview, a ongoing interview. Everything you do on that campus, the girl that you smash, the car that you drive, the drinks you drink, the way you condone yourself on that visit, the whole time you're being judged, you're being looked at, period, point blank. Not only has he already committed to Lincoln Riley, USC, one update that some people argue, is he a quarterback guru? Does he know what he's doing? One thing we do know is that he puts his quarterbacks in position to win games, and not that, period. We know that. We know he puts the guys in position to win. If nothing else, that's what he does. And I must say, how could you don't trade like that? You don't maneuver like that. And then you go to Colorado, you get them all hyped up, and they naming hamburgers after you, sandwiches after you, and so forth and so on. But then, and I'm not look, and then you go down to, then you have an Indiana shirt on, throwing an Auburn football, and this is all how things work, right? And everything else. So, who has the highest bid? We're like, you're up for bidding. The way you condone yourself, everything else, all that has to play with. And I'm gonna tell y'all why all this matters in my opinion. This is not me being having an insider. This is strictly my opinion on how it looks. It's optics, the optics of the things, how you're condoning yourself, right? There's no loyalty. You're questioning loyalty. Number one, yes, you are. Because first you have all these USC pictures of you in a USC jersey. So, and then you say you're committing to USC. So now I'm a USC fans. But then not only that, you go up to Colorado, put on the Colorado uniform, get the keys handed from you from Shador. Then you go and put on the Indiana Hoosiers jersey, throwing the Auburn football. Now, and y'all like, but trucking, like so what? This is what every kid does. This is how they do it. Listen to me. This should be different, because the reason why this should be different, and you shouldn't be taking pictures in all these different jerseys and with all this different team stuff on, is because you already committed to one school. You already committed to USC. I'm gonna take this picture in this USC jersey, and that's it. No disrespect to you, Coach Prime. I love it here. Y'all up for consideration, but I don't want to take a picture wearing a Colorado jersey. I don't want to take a picture when they're at Indiana Hoosier shirt. I don't want to take a picture wearing an Auburn jersey. It shows. It shows your loyalty to a team, the loyalty you had, the leaders, like that to me, that shows a lot. That shows a whole lot. It really does, man. It really does. Um, you remember, and this may be a horrible comparison, but remember we younger, right? You girls out there, you women out there used to take our hats. You used to take hats off of guys that you like, whether look, they could have been your best friend, a close friend, could have had a crush on them, but you guys to take fitteds off our heads and wear our hats. But that was a symbol. If that wasn't your friend, you liked that guy, right? If another guy you like, or if another guy liked you saying you wearing another guy's hat, well, they do. They probably knock it off your head, right? Because now I know whose hat that is. Let's just be honest. I don't know if there's like, let's just be honest. I don't, like I said, it might be a terrible comparison, but I don't want my girl wearing another man hat. Why you wearing this dude fitted? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like it just it don't show loyalty to me. To me, it does not. You can say how you want to, this is what they do, this is what it is. Like you're going on an interview, be business like, be professional like, you know what I'm saying? Be professional like with it. I think that's what these teams are looking for, or somebody who's going to show be yourself by all means. That don't mean you can't be yourself, but show up and ready to take care of business. The NIL, everything else, you're gonna get all the business accolades you want up at Colorado. I don't know if select QB comes with that, if that's part of the package, but you're gonna get all the business acumens there at Colorado. Um, you're taking a chance with the wins, the uncertainty of the team is, or are they going to be good for the next couple years? Is he going to be around? Is his health good? But there's a lot of question marks. But one thing you do know, if you go there, you're going to get the whole celebrity thing of it. You're going to have that period, especially with Shador being gone. You're going to be the celebrity of Colorado, the new quarterback. That's why he's giving you the keys. If you go to USC, you're going to open up for California. You're going to draw big recruits over to California. You're a good quarterback, 4 or 5 star. Now you're dropped down to a 4 star. And I think that has to do with character. People are seeing something out there. Now, I don't know this to be true, but I'm just speaking on what I see. It just does not, it does not look, the optics of this does not look good. It does not look good. And USC, you're going to get a hell of an offensive coordinator, a guy who's going to put you in a position to win. He's going to get you every player there. Let's not forget Branch being there, Branch's son being there, one of the fastest receiver in college football. You're gonna get guys there. You probably know a couple of defensive players who don't want to play in sunny California, who don't. And y'all in the Big Ten now? What? Like I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Then you get to looking around at the other schools like Auburn. They're in the SEC, big time. They have a huge fan base down there. Auburn. Auburn got a couple of bucks. You know what I'm saying? That's a difference. Indiana Hoosiers under Kurt Signetti, a hell of a coach in Kurt Signetti, hell of a coach. That offense that he ran down at James Madison last year was there. He solidified. He's a good coach. Indiana Hoosiers is definitely going to be a team that's going to be on the rise in the next couple of years. They're rebuilding right now. You have a high chance of being the starting quarterback there, a very high chance, and being developed by some guys that know what the hell they doing. Like, and I'm not saying that Coach Brown don't. So you got your hands full in a pick, but I just don't show that you throwing on everything and you just switching it up. Like, don't do that, man. Don't do that. Don't do it. This is not you going to the NFL. This is not going to the NFL. This is literally you're making, and I know this is business. And I know this is business. So some people may be coming from the aspect like, oh, this is just business. But look, that's the thing. This is still college. This still is a school where you learn. This is not, it is business. And that's what's making it so tough. And that's why there's a lot of people out there like, this is still college. And it is at the end of the day. So your education should be more important than anything else. Than anything else. And I'm sure, and I don't know if his parents are telling him that or not, or if he's solely going to depend on football and think about football and go get a communications degree like everybody else, and then just play football and go all out with that. But I want, I would definitely say like go to college for something meaningful. You know what I'm saying? Like and then build up off of there, man. You could still be the 5-star quarterback with a doctorate in something. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the everybody, because football is not, it can be taken away from you. If football giveth, and football will taketh from you. It take everything from you. If that's the only thing you got to lean on, could be gone in the snap of a finger. Gotta have a backup plan, man. You got to. Education is most important in this, man. It's still college, and it don't look good when you represent like that in my eyes. And I think that I don't know that. I don't know that to be. I'm just I'm just taking a wild guess, but I'm just the dropping stars. Maybe he's working out for teams, and they're seeing a flaw. How is he ranked a 5-star? Maybe we didn't get this one right. We're just speculating. That's all I could do is speculate on this, really. But what I am saying, and what I am standing on is this is not a good look. It does not look good. It just don't. It just don't. That's all I'm saying with that. Learn how to move different. I think showing somebody something, being a little more traditional is not a bad thing when dealing with people who are traditional. You're dealing with universities, presidents that were raised on traditional principles in life. You're not dealing and you're dealing with traditional people. You're not dealing with the people that are 40 and under. They are not, a lot of those guy people are not running universities and colleges and so forth and so on. These are still older people who the last of the traditional generation. They're not caught, they're not their values and principles in life is not the same, if that makes sense. These committees and everything, they're not, their principles and morals is not like that. They don't live off of that. I can almost guarantee you, if you do see somebody play the traditional role and say still going on their visits, but they're not showing up with things, maybe you even get a bigger bag. But now it's like, oh, you done dropped the star, you done drop a whole star. Now you ain't no 5-star no more, so you can't act for 5-star money. You being questioned now. Now your money done went down. You know what I mean? So you can't, and if somebody is offering you money, which I'm sure USC has, and you're going to get put in a great situation to win there, like hands down, California money, sunny California, man, I'm there, man. I'm there. I'm there. I'm sorry. I love Coach Prime. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't going to, like, I'm not picking no cold mountains over no sunny California beaches, everything. Man, come on, man. There ain't no way, man. There ain't no way. California got way too much to offer. And I know the crime and all that out there, but you be good out there. They ain't gonna let nothing happen to you out there. All them OGs in Cali that like USC, they ain't gonna let nothing happen to you out there in no California. In California, you talk about NIL. You talking about the NIL, name, image, and likeness in Cali? Sheesh. Forget about it. That's why I ain't understanding, like, with a lot of these, if it really is about a bag, like, then why ain't people going places where you can either market yourself, like Colorado? Like, I'm not gonna lie, Colorado is a huge destination for NIL, because he literally can put you on. You can get put on in Colorado with your social media game, like in the snap of a finger, just like that. That easy. You're gonna take off in Colorado. That's a fact. The weather, but the sacrifice is that the weather. All right. California, you could build all that yourself. All the companies and everything is out there. So many companies in Cali, stock markets, access to people, stars, celebrities. Everything is, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in your downtime when you trying to build up your NIL, like, yeah, bro, like some of the it's all out there. Like, why wouldn't I want to be in a place that I could build something up outside of football at? Like, you could possibly take your NIL bread, start investing something, or go into business or something in Cali, meet some people with your NIL, and start taking off in California. There ain't no better place to do that, because I'm telling you, Dude, a lot of people, there's no other place to put down and get and build contacts, get your education, build contacts, get everything you need set up for life than California. Like California, I would say, is a place. Florida is a heck of a place. I don't understand why more people don't want to try Florida. Like, I'm just being real. Florida, Texas, even. Like, you know, I don't know, but Cali, that got to be the number one place. USC, come on, man. That's a no-brainer. That is a no-brainer. If they looking at you, I'm going. I'm going. If that's what it's really about, because look, USC, good education, NIL's crazy. You know what I mean? You're gonna be able to build a whole lot out there in Cali, a whole lot, hands down. There's probably some Texas boys that'll go to Cali, because they lived in Texas their whole life. But if you ain't never been to Texas, you probably be like, okay, I'll go down there, and try to build something down there. But Florida, I guess Florida and Cali would be like those would be my number 1 and 2 destinations, either or of interest. I mean, like when you get to really looking at things and how to build up, weather's important. I would say so. Maybe not to everybody, but you could build so much, man. So much out there. So much out there in those places. So much opportunity, and it just keeps rising and rising. And the things that are around and the people, like you could build up, and you know. But maybe I don't know everything I'm talking about. I don't know everything. I hope I don't claim to sound like I know everything, but definitely dropping a star, being ranked number 7 in your position, number 8 in the state, 46 nationally, and it's just like, dag, bro. Like now you dropping down, and I think, and I don't, like I said, speculating on it, but that'd be a no brainer. SC is like right there, man. Right there, man. So look, man, I kicked it on here for a while, man. Oh man, you know, like I said, man, I touched on a lot of things today. Having a big heart, playing with heart on the field, oversized, not sleeping on your opponents, and I don't think that they are. Um, like I said, Shador said he's aware of that everybody's coming at them and with full force this year. They're not going to take it easy on them, and I'm sure that they're not going to do that on their opponents. We covered that. We even got into the trenches a little bit. Um, for Colorado, North Dakota State, we talked about that game. We talked a little bit about not sleeping on Baylor, a little bit of their little four stretch that Colorado. We touched on the Shakur Stevenson drama and everything, and why we think he should. Well, why I should think that he shouldn't be letting people get to him. Let them say what they need to say out there. And last but not least, man, we jump back into it. But Julian Lewis, man, Juju Lewis, and his decision making out there and whatever else is going on. And I can't tell somebody how to be, but I think playing it a little bit more traditional and showing your loyalty to a school would make other schools want you even more. And it leaves a question mark. They know you good. They know you're a good player. Just leave a little bit of mystery sometimes. Everything ain't meant to be shared all the time. Not all the time, all right? But we'll see what's up, man. And that's what it comes down to. And maybe somebody talked them into that. Who knows? Maybe they said post pictures of all the teams together and then see what team like you the most and what people reach out to you the most, the biggest fan base. But like I said, when you looking for social media, looking to be a star, you want fame. You want to build up your brand. You want to build up fame. You could build up fame in Colorado, but you could become a brand in California. That's just me. Now look, y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. But y'all know how I'm giving it up, man. Make sure y'all here Saturday, dog. Peace.
Want to see Truck and Chubby live and co-host Shed? Tune in at Fans Point of View, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. But in the meantime, in between time, enjoy the content. Don't forget to hit your notification bell for all updates. Thank you for watching.